The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Earnestly podcast comes to you here with Smith, Kyle effing Nash. It's been a while, Kyle. What's up? Doing the game?
Hey man, listen, doing things, staying relatively healthy. Hopefully you're doing the same. And listen, if it weren't for the little bit of sports I've gotten to do, I would be just a schoolmarm and a slave to the corporate world on top of everything going on in the world. So yeah.
Well, aren't we all, to some degree, slaves to the corporate world, capitalism, and all that?
I mean, not to the way that certain liberal hippie folk would have you believe, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being liberal, by the way. Don't do all that crap. I didn't vote for orange hair, so, but, you know.
Is it orange hair or orange face? Or which one?
I mean.
Orange and bad.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's more to it than that, but, you know, this is not a political show.
No, but I will ask you real quick, just one question.
Sure.
Aren't you glad this is all over? At least right now, at least the actual election's all over. I mean, you still have the transition that has not really happened yet because it's just a lot of mumbo jumbo with our current commander in chief not willing to accept losing. But aren't you glad it's all over though?
So here's the reason why I'm not, is because by law things aren't really actually over until the electoral college completes. So,
14th.
Say again?
December 14th, certification.
So until such time, I will remain vigilant and not calm. I'll put it that way.
Okay. That being said, let's get to football. It's been a while. Because I'll be honest with you, as I hold a mic in my hand right now, because I love doing that. This is actually, first time I think I've talked football on the show and fluent like this in quite a while, so it's kind of good to kind of get back to that a little bit. And before you know it, so much time has passed, and so quickly, we're ready to approach week 11.
Yes,
this is insane.
And to be honest, I mean, I know that COVID has made its mark on the NFL, but overall, in a situation where there's not a bubble, I'm not sure it could have been handled much better. So, I mean, as much as people want to rip the NFL and go precisely ape, when even the whispered of those letters in succession happened, rightfully so to some extent, I got to give the NFL credit for giving us an intriguing season in 2020.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And to be honest with you, all the leagues have done a good job, actually. I mean, college football, I'll pause on that, obviously. But the NBA did a great job with the bubble, obviously. Major League Baseball, while they came out the gates a little rough, they were able to maintain. Yeah, a lot rough, but they were able to maintain. The NFL, for all the, other than not having crowds, it's pretty much normal. You're still traveling. You're still doing this. So considering all that, I got to give them credit. They've done a great job.
That's what's funny is you don't hear about the good stuff, and if I'm Roger Goodell, that silence is proof that I've done something right, because I don't know what it is, and we've talked about it on this show. People refuse to give Roger Goodell credit when he does well.
Because we are in a negative world, man, where the negative always comes out first, always comes out the most. This is how we are.
I mean, I try to give you credit when you get something right,
I mean, we don't have to. It used to be that way, obviously. I hate it.
I mean, you're veering from the sports show. Not that that's a problem. I just, to mire in the lack of faith in humanity you appear to have would not be a great way to raise your spirit or those of those listening to your pod, my brother.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I wanted today's show to kind of focus since we have been able to do week to week this year because of schedules and whatnot. I wanted to kind of.
No, I want to hear schedules, man, Majama. That's you.
Say it again now?
I want to hear about schedules. That's you, man, Majama.
Well, when I say, I mean me. I don't mean you.
You keep putting plurals on it, using we. No, fool. You need to change that damn pronoun on the quick.
Well, first off, the The only reason I even got tonight free, was because my wife's working tonight, so I was able to actually, make things happen. That being said, but I want to focus really on mostly kind of like encapsulating right now where we are at through the season. So obviously we're going to do our classic playoff locks later on the back end of the show, where every team that's in now with a stick, things of that nature. So that, as I said, we're 11 weeks in. MVP talk. Let's talk about that. In my opinion, Kyle.
Yes.
Nothing. I mean, especially Russell. First of all, it was Russell Wilson to run away for the first like 9 weeks.
Sure.
And then the last couple of weeks, he's struggled a little bit. He's had 5 turnovers the last couple of weeks, 5 interceptions, a couple fumbles here and there. And so all of a sudden now, it kind of feels like that there really isn't really a strong runaway right now. Like, you can probably mention 4 or 5 guys out the gate, and they may have a case, but there's really no one, in my opinion, now, especially with Wilson now not playing as well last couple of weeks, no longer running away with the quote unquote award. So that being said, who are the guys? Give me the 4 or 5 guys that you're looking at this right now through 11 weeks are in the conversation with most valuable player.
So first of all, I want the record to show, if you're going to describe any slide that may have happened in the MVP, make sure you tell your boy Danny Thompson to listen to your preamble there, because my host for the past 2 weeks has sounded like a complete tool in trying to tell me that Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the NFL. That is absolutely impossible in my mind to be the case at this point, basically for one reason and one reason alone. Other than casting the Ravens aside in a very, very convincing fashion, I'm less than impressed with some of their other outings. B, at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes does not have to throw the ball 30 times to win a football game in some of Kansas City's outings. He can hand it off. The defense does some work. It's a situation where Patrick Mahomes is capable of magic, but doesn't always need to raise his wand. So if you want to come at me with this whole narrative of Patrick Mahomes, oh, sure, he's in the conversation because he's the best quarterback in the NFL talent-wise, but he is not the MVP. Now, Rusty Carrington Wilson is in the race, and in my opinion, while maybe not a runaway, as you described, is still the damn MVP today. You're really going to kill that entire season on the strength of 2 bad weeks, which, by the damn way, morons like you that want to say Russell Wilson did bad is completely leaving out that he was facing literally the best defensive tackle, if not defensive lineman, in the expletive-deleted league, and probably the best secondary. And hell, the Rams overpaid for Jalen Ramsey, and he finally does his job to spec. This is one of the 2 games, by the way, they overpaid for him to do well, I might add. But if Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are supposed to be so damn good, how come all that has to happen is they cover the long ball and they disappear? And that's Rusty's fault.
You sound mad.
I am mad. Bro, if you want to see mad, I would encourage anybody who wants to see me dunk on Danny Thompson on how bad his Russell Wilson take has been the past 2 weeks, go to the Beyond the Buzzer Facebook page, check out the past 2 episodes, and proceed to grab your popcorn.
Okay, so I hope the moron comment wasn't towards me, because I actually agree with you. It's still Russell Wilson.
Oh, but you're a moron for setting the table with your word choice. That's what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying, though, was prior to the last 2 weeks, it was a runaway.
Yeah, no, and you did say that. I'm basically making fun of you in the fact that people are just not giving the Rams defense props. When they play somebody, it's, oh, that quarterback did bad. The hell with you people. The Rams defense kicks ass.
No, I'm with you. So, okay, if I say the name Russell Wilson, MVP candidate, you say yes, obviously.
Oh,
if I say Aaron Rodgers, right? Yes?
Aaron Rodgers is certainly in the conversation. I would put him actually ahead of Patrick Mahomes. And we're not going to go down the list. I mean, he has one big weapon, and his name is Devontae Adams. He has to overcome an absolute garbage defense that is all finesse and no bite. If I have to be honest, Danny Thompson actually brought up Aaron Rodgers and say he has a good candidate, except for the fact I saw what happened to him when he had just a single bad moment against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember that game where he got just thrashed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Russell Wilson does not quit. There was a point where the Seattle Seahawks against the Bills were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Did you think that game was over? No, you didn't. If it were Aaron Rodgers, you might. So, and it's not to say that Aaron Rodgers hasn't pulled amazing plays at the end of games, but 2020, this being a seasonal award, 2020 is not a Aaron Rodgers season, in my opinion.
Let me give you my 5 guys.
Hold on. I know what you're going to say. Here's the reason why you can't use Kyler Murray. That offense is probably the best one. This gets into the whole thing of, is 2020 part of this decade or the previous or whatever. The punchline is this. You would be hard pressed with the way salary caps are and things like that to find the generational amassing of talent on that offense ever again. Kyler Murray is doing great, but he's not the MVP.
I'm with you.
And then lastly, these morons that want to try to say Josh Allen, shut your goofy asses up. The real MVP of that offense is Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
Does everybody understand in similar fashion years back when Gronk was more in his prime, he was more important to the New England Patriots than Tom Brady was, right?
We did multiple podcasts on that, remember?
We certainly did.
Sometimes, huh?
And now I think other than the fact that Stephon Diggs is not as well known for blocking in the running game, Stephon Diggs opened up so much for other receivers. Cole Beasley's making stupid catches. You know the last time Cole Beasley was relevant? When he has Dez Bryant pulling people away from him to get one-on-one coverage. Okay? And then, by the way, why can Josh Allen run? Because they're too busy trying to chase this mamma jamma. If you can blow past Patrick Peterson and catch what should have been the damn game-winning touchdown, except there's a catch on the next series by the best receiver in the NFL today, and in the press conference, he literally calls the catch in question that he made to beat you, the best of his career. That's how you get supplanted. The real crime in that game, by the way, Ernest Julius Christian, is we should be talking about Stephon Diggs and that drop by Larry Fitzgerald that set it up, but we're not.
Okay, so Josh Allen has been really good this year. He's an MVP. Here's my 5 guys.
You would be in the thing for most improved if it wasn't for friggin' Alex Smith.
Yeah, or Teddy Bridgewater. Who knows?
Correct.
Real quick. Here are my 5 guys in no particular order, really. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm confident here that you're going to agree with me. I am. Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I can't do that.
Okay, my 5th guy, Aaron Donald.
Okay. I love your thought process there.
See,
there's one name you're missing.
Turned you on, baby.
You know you did. He's not J.J. Watt, but he's damn close.
Oh.
If we were going to do a biopic for Aaron Donald, I would want Idris Elba to bulk up. I'm just saying.
Hello.
Anyways, no. But I think a name you're missing, and it's unfortunate. It's going to be one of these situations where he'll never get it. But if Kirk Cousins were competent to support him when necessary,
I know you're going.
Dalvin Cook, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could argue I'm not saying he's a better player, but I'm saying he's more essential to this Vikings team than Adrian Peterson ever was.
Because I want to talk about the Vikings, because I have something to say about them on the back end of this conversation, because when we do our locks, that's a team I'm looking at that can make some things happen next 6 weeks.
That's adorable. By the way, their collapse on offense is proof that the Buffalo Bills MVP on offense is their MVP on offense. That's right. That's another Stephon Diggs drop. Recognize. Moving on.
Real quick. Touch on this real quick. Staying on this same kind of frame of like awarding people.
Right.
To me, Coach of the Year is really just 2 guys. 2 black guys, in fact. Mike Tomlin, Brian Flores.
Sure. I mean, you got to have Flores in the conversation, don't you? I mean, hell, I had them improving to 7 wins, and I felt like I was out on a limb doing that. And now they only have to win 1 game to achieve that trash. And they play the Jets on their schedule somewhere in here before the year is out. They go and get that. I'm going to be wrong, Ernest Christian. I can tell you that for a fact. But I think Mike Tomlin deserves some props. Now, granted, Ben Roethlisberger doing what he is doing, again, another if it weren't for Alex Smith conversation, right? Ben Roethlisberger is certainly a comeback player of the year candidate, right?
Yeah, that's it. I like that one.
But man, that is a team effort. And seeing production from young players, renewing Juju Smith-Schuster to do what he's doing, I would argue as a number 2 receiver. The way that Minkah Fitzpatrick is now more than just an awesome add-on, but a damn NFL elite is special. And you get that from solid coaching, no question.
Of course.
I have to keep Andy Reid on the list because to be this damn dominant in the NFL is an achievement, especially as a defending champion. I don't ever feel like the Patriots were this dominant as a defending champion.
No. Yeah, like I say, Andy Reid be the only guy I would probably consider as the third guy. But to me, it's a two-man race between Flores and Tomlin. And by the way, if we're gonna criticize Tomlin like we did the last couple of years with the lack of discipline, when he had AB and those guys, we gotta praise him now when he's doing the right thing. Like last year at 8-8 without the quarterback most of the year, pretty much the entire year other than 1 week, and now 9-0. We need to be consistent about this. Not saying people in general.
Right.
If we're going to criticize Tomlin for being a little hands off with his players, and now he corrects that, and now they're having success as a result, we got to praise it too.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the front office having carved out Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, both players I liked in Steeler uniforms, by the way.
Yeah.
If they carved out those I hate using the term cancer, but that's the one that gets thrown around. But having those carved out, it has truly been an example of addition by subtraction. Now, that being said, we'll see how good that front office is when they start examining how they're going to account for Ben's departure in the next season or two, if he even does another one after this, because I was certain he was going to retire this year.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's only been threatening for the last 4 years.
Well,
I mean,
it's one thing to use it as a bargaining chip. It's another when you got wrecked in the backfield. I mean, Brett Favre was always an option until the Steelers, flattened him on the field that fateful day when he was in Minnesota. But I digress.
You do.
By the way, one thing I'm going to say as a final note, and it'll mostly be because of my ego. I did.
Is it always?
No, because sometimes I'm just effing right. If it was all about my ego, I would be G. Stelio and talk about Cutler being the best quarterback of all time. At any rate, no, but there is one path to victory. Now, in August, I had predicted that the New England Patriots would make the 7th spot in the playoffs with an 8-8 record. I expected to be a lot of teams in the AFC to be worse than they are. But if somehow that is achieved, you have to give it to Belichick, because what is not being accounted for, especially after this win on Sunday night, by the way, what's not being accounted for is all the ish that has gone on. The most opt-outs preseason. Aside from that whole Brady departure thing, Edelman, on top of everything else, is hurt again.
COVID.
You're beating me to it. But yeah, it's one thing when Cam is taken out with a chipped vertebrae in an automobile accident. You can put your hands around that. But when it's COVID, yeah, that's rough. And they're missing practices. I think they've missed more practices than any other NFL franchise during the season to this point. Damn it, that matters. And I know you're supporting it as the Patriots fan you are.
Oh,
but
there we go. Brady's still gone. He's still doing that shit.
Cam
Swag's there though. So
Cam Swag is doing amazing things, and the fact that he was acquired on the bargain basement is something great in and of itself. But I'll say this:
we did say it though, you and I, that you're gonna be good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had a path to success, and again, I think like you have a 3 or 4 game losing streak on the strength of practices missing from the schedule for New England. But if Belichick somehow makes the playoffs, every other conversation is null and void. It goes to Bill. Period.
The only way I wouldn't give him to Bill is if Tomlin goes 15-1, 16-0, or Brian Flores, say they win 10 plus games. You got to get rid of Flores.
If Flores,
it depends on those two guys.
If Flores
do.
wins the division, I'll back you.
Ooh, that's a good one. And it's in play right now. It's in play. Speaking of quarterbacks a little while ago, I got into this conversation with a couple of my friends at work yesterday. I know you hate this topic, but it's been kind of contentious. It's been kind of contentious though, because we're kind of in a situation now where we're seeing, even though Brady and Brees still around, whatever, you're definitely seeing the change in the guard already, heavily now, where the next era guys, whether or not they've been in the league 6, 7, 8 years, like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, or guys like Kyle Murray or Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, all that. We're definitely seeing a major dynamic shift. So I got a conversation about right now freeze frame. Forget the last 5 years, 6 years, using a larger sample size. I'm talking about right now, this year.
So
Top
2020.
10 quarterback. Huh?
So 2020 stuff only, like quarterbacks you would take for this season only, no franchise weigh-ins.
Right. Top 10 quarterbacks right now in the league. You can even include guys that got hurt this year, like say Dak and guys of that nature.
True.
Brees got hurt this week too. So it's
that wasn't illegal, by the way, EJ Christian. Yet again, a damn flag against the Niners when all they did was legally sack the damn quarterback. These Saints fans in there, we get bad calls, can suck.
Don't get me started on the Saints fans, dude. Seriously. And that was a clean hit for the record.
Bitch, they're my in-laws. Back off.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, and they wonder why I can't stand them now. You wonder why I can't stand the Saints fans. But so obviously my buddy and I, it was Zach Degenerate and myself at work talk about this, and we actually went through a list. Is he top 10? He's not top 10. And we went through the list, and it got a little contentious at the end because there are guys who are kind of forgetting who are doing pretty well under the radar right now. So you have the obvious. So let's go to the list. Obviously, no order. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, right? That's top. Right? That's pretty good.
And actually, yeah, the only difference is I think you and I would agree that Mahomes is numero uno.
No. We're not debating the order. We know that he's
someone's gonna give you a hard time. This is
they
for the audience at home.
They can fuck off. They can fuck off. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, damn.
You heard that. You heard it first. So those three are there. I mean, Tom Brady's still top 10 right now, the way he's playing. Let's be real.
I want to walk through it before I declare that. Because here's what you're not accounting for. You said in 2020, Ernest Christian, mobility means more to the quarterback position than it ever has in any other case in any other time.
I will agree with that.
In the NFL. And your boy just ain't got it. Hell, he never had that shit.
Never had it, though. But he still finds a way to win. With the right team, of course. I mean, he obviously has a great team around him.
You may want to check that. He doesn't find a way to win, really, because if you look at each one of the Patriots' losses last year, where they actually failed to hold their opponent to less than 20 points, Tom Brady couldn't get the job done. Read it.
So 1 year and 20, we're gonna pull that card, okay? And he bounced back this year. New team is doing
1 year and 20.
I get your
all
argument.
I'm saying is his father time doing his dirty deed to supplant your boyfriend.
Oh, it's still happening. It's still happening, but it's a fight. It's a fight.
Oh, but I'm not telling you he's awful. Let's not get stupid.
Okay, so simple question: is he right now top 10 in the league right now based on this year?
Well, if we're gonna walk through it, we'll make that determination.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna leave you on your toes, Ernest Christian.
I'll throw out names. Okay, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, I believe, is top 5. People keep wanting to try to tell me that he can't pass the football. Yeah, these are the same dumb mamma jammas that forget. Like, I was so close to cursing, and I know I can't on your show, but it's a decorum thing. Stop it. They all forget that in a playoff game against these Tennessee Titans, who I'm supposed to be afraid of and have done jack in the past 3 weeks. That's a student of the game tradition, by the way. Okay. I think it was actually Special Agent Rizzo, the Special Agent of Sports, that came up with that, and that goes years back. That he came up with calling them the Titans.
Okay, so that's 4 guys there. We'll put Brady to the side for a second. So we got Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson.
Now I have to ask you: is Kyler Murray not in the conversation here?
Oh, he is. We're gonna go through the list now. So let's go. Okay, so those are 4 guys we agree on. Okay, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Yes.
Ish.
Nope. Ooh, stop right there.
He and Tom Brady are in that place, and actually right now, today, I'm more inclined to take Ben because I know he could still sling it like a fool. Brady's lost an infinitesimal small bit on his ball. Roethlisberger's problem has always been his intelligence, whereas Brady's has always been there. That's one thing that is the key to his game. So,
Okay. Let me see. Okay, so we said yes to Ben or no to Ben?
we're on the fence with Ben.
Okay, so I'll put in the pen. So we still got 4 guys here.
All right. Then we have 5. We have Rusty. We have Mahomes. We have Rodgers. We have L-Jack, and we got Special K.
Okay.
So that's 5.
Okay. You got 5?
Yeah.
Okay. We say Kyler Murray. We agree to Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that's Special K.
Okay.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. Not Carson Wentz, not Daniel Jones, not Alex Smith.
And let's set aside, it's only not Carson Wentz because of the injury proneness. We'd probably put him right at 11 or 12.
He would have been top 10 if he, for me, was part of this year. What about Dak Prescott? I know he's not playing anymore, but the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, he did look good, didn't he? Throwing 500 yards and stuff, right? Granted, that was against the Falcons, if I remember correctly, so that obviously slightly discounts that.
What's up, Danny Thompson?
Oh, he knows the truth. He's not Nathan R. Jessup. He can handle the truth. No, I'm going to say no. He's definitely top half. I'm not prepared to put him top 10 yet. I reserve the right to change my mind as we go through.
You know, your list already looks dramatically different than mine, though. That's right now.
Well, that's because you're already slobbering on a certain part of Brady's anatomy. I know.
How about Matthew Stafford?
He gets forgotten about. I'm going to surprise you with where I put him.
This is about the order. This is top 10. I don't care about the order necessarily.
He might make the top 10 as we're walking through this here.
Is he also decided too?
He's on the fence.
Okay, let's go through the list real quick. Okay, so Josh Allen, no, right? Yes or no? You have to
let's get back to him.
Okay. Not Tua too soon.
Yes.
Cam Newton.
He said not yet. We'll mark his report card incomplete.
Sam Darnold, hell no.
No.
Baker Mayfield, hell no.
No.
Joe Burrow will be one day. Yes.
Man, listen, I cannot be prouder of Joe Burrow and what he's done.
Absolutely.
But I'll give you a rookie a rookie who was going to make the top 10, and it's not his damn fault his team is still losing football games. I am putting Justin Herbert in the top 10.
Whoa. Okay.
If you come out and you match the following quarterbacks in a shootout, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, you are going to get in the top 10 and have to fall out if you do that as a Ute. That tells me it's instinctual. That tells me you did it coming out the gate. And, by the way, it ain't like the Chargers are a great team. He's got Keenan Allen, and he's got a good tight end. I'll give him that.
I haven't bought him 5 team this going to the year. I'll tell you that.
And Austin Eckler is a good support back. But would you have expected Tyrod Taylor to do any of those things?
No, hell no. Come on now.
Yep.
I mean, Tyrod Taylor's a solid quarterback, but he's not.
I really like Tyrod Taylor.
His
career is
he's solid. He's shot. What did they say in the hood? He's solid. All right. Phil Rivers, no. Ryan Tannehill, no.
Right.
He's solid, but no. Deshaun Watson, bad year this year.
Maybe not his fault. You take away top receiver of the NFL, and you still have your team in the game in the race to win games. When you're losing the running back that you were supposed to have to injury, and then on top of that, you lose Carlos Hyde, and then you're in a state where a defense with J.J. Watt on it is a fraction of its former self because of all the bad picks you've made. Deshaun Watson is a top 10 quarterback in this league, but that team, man, listen.
Trash. Trizash. Now, anyway.
I mean, real talk. If you could right now wave your wand and Daniel Jones is a Texan instead, you know you do it.
Of course I would want Deshaun Watson. Come on. Who's the Jaguars quarterback now? Jake, whatever his damn name is?
Lufton? The answer is no.
Name, that's no, obviously. Here's an interesting one because this is one of the quarterbacks we were talking about with Zach yesterday. That's like, holy shit, we got to think about this a little bit. Derek Carr.
No.
Whoa,
this is smoke and mirrors. This is smoke and mirrors this year.
I mean, this guy was MVP candidate a couple years ago. I'm just saying.
And listen, he learned a few things. He got better coaching, and the offense has been specifically engineered a particular way. Now, I'm not here to tell you that he's 20th, but I would put him ahead. I would put him ahead of, let's say Dak Prescott, ahead of Joe Burrow.
Oh, okay.
But
okay. So he's between 11 and 13, 11 and 14 around there. Okay. Drew Lock, no, obviously.
No.
Carson Wentz, right now, you still say no just because of the struggles? Or are you gonna?
It's the injury piece. So what's going to happen is we're probably going to elevate. I mean, Tom Brady's had too many good games in 2020 to not be on the list, which then by extension pulls Ben up too. So I'm at 8, right?
Yeah, it's 8.
Okay.
Daniel Jones, no. Alex Smith, no. Dak Prescott, you already said no. Aaron Rodgers already there. Mitchell Trubisky or Nick Foles, both no.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I don't like that.
Hell no.
Matthew Stafford's on the fence still, so we'll hold him on in a second.
Yeah.
Drew Brees?
Drew Brees is a no for me. He was 8 according to us last year, and that team has become Kamara-based.
Yeah,
Drew Brees,
yeah.
We're about to see when we have an opportunity to see, and granted, we could do this conversation next month because you don't do weeklies anymore, and I could be like, I was totally wrong here. But we have yet to see Jameis Winston with adequate protection and an elite level run support. We're going to get that with New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to see if Jameis can turn it around, because here's going to be the bad thing out of it. Because I want to see Jameis do better, because he had 5,000 yards. If he can cook, I want to see him do it. But the only downside is all these morons who will be all like, see, it wasn't Jameis. The team was bad. Bull crap.
I'll give Brees credit, though. He's been good this year. He's been good. But obviously you're right. It is Kamara based. I do agree. He's at the table. So
say what you will for Michael Thomas. That core isn't as good as Tampa Bay's. And listen, I like Trequan Smith as much as the next guy. I got to cover him. He's a fantastic human being and throws blocks better than a lot of receivers currently in the NFL and he was doing that as a rookie, But if he's your number 2, you got problems. Now he's not anymore because they acquired Sanders at the beginning of the year, but I digress.
So Brady's still on the fence. We put Brady.
I put in Brady.
You did.
I said no to Drew Brees. Right now, I'm going to make somebody angry when I say this, but right now I would take Matt Stafford ahead of Drew Brees, simply because he's less wrecked.
Right, that's true. Matt Ryan, no.
No, even though Danny Thompson thinks he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Of course he is. Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater has been good, but no. Right. We said Kyler Murray. Here's another interesting one here. You know what? First, we said Russell Wilson already. We already, obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo, no. Or Nick Mullins. Here's an interesting one here.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff. He's been solid this year.
He's been solid with a team that has great defense, and the run game has been winning the games. If you notice, when they ask Goff to throw, he's not delivering. I love that he made it to a Super Bowl. That's adorable. This is not him doing well. Goff would probably be ranked still behind Drew Brees. I would take Joe Burrow ahead of Jared Goff at this time.
Wow. That's an endorsement.
Hashtag I said it.
You said it. You did say it. Okay. Let's get to the thing I wanted to talk about most on this podcast today.
Wait, I still owe you 2 quarterbacks, right?
No. You filled it in well. So, go ahead.
Okay.
You had the following. You had
Mahomes.
I'm going to go there now. Big Ben. I'm going to go to the list here so you know. Big Ben, Lamar Jackson. You also put in Herbert, Mahomes. That's 4. Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. I think you said, right?
I said I would put Stafford ahead of Brees. I did not declare him.
Okay.
Yes.
So Aaron Rodgers is 5, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then Tom Brady 6.
Right.
Colin Murray 7, Russell Wilson 8. So there's 2 spots open. Yes. So I'm going to assume that Matt Stafford is going to be in that conversation.
Did you put Deshaun Watson in?
Oh, he's in there too?
Yes, Deshaun Watson is
9.
in.
So 1 spot. There's only 1 spot then. So it's between Matthew Stafford, probably, maybe Drew Brees, probably not. Let me see. Derek Carr we mentioned a little while ago.
You know what?
Cam Newton.
I'll make a controversial move. I'll let Derek Carr slip in at 10.
Okay. He's been good this year.
He has. I don't want to completely cut that off. Like I said, I want to give him some credit, so right. I'll do it by making him 10th.
Right. And where's Jay Cutler? I'm just kidding.
Retired, collecting money, laughing his ass off. Probably.
That dude is so fucking lucky. I swear. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the thing I want to talk about the most. And by the way, we're going to try to up these podcasts, you and I, if not weekly, definitely at least every 2 weeks. We get closer to the playoffs because obviously things are picking up.
Playoff.
That's right. All right. So as we do every year when we do this pod, you and I, especially around this time of year, we get closer and closer to the playoffs. We start looking at teams are right now in the playoff picture, teams who are right now the starter today, they're locks. I want to talk to you about these teams right now that currently are holding playoff spots and whether they'll hold at this time. Now I'm trying to find the thing here to reference, but apparently I'm not getting it. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Hold on. Damn it, it's not there. Okay, real quick. So this year is the first time they're doing this 7. And by the way, I think you and I had a discussion off the air about this a couple days ago about our opinions about the addition to 1 extra playoff spot per conference.
Absolutely ludicrous. Yes.
You hate it. I'm not a fan of it personally. I think it waters it down. I will say though, it will make it a little bit intriguing now going forward. The only thing I like about it though, honestly, is at least there's 1 bye week.
Well, I'll say this. It's amazing they're doing this, and already they have an anomaly. And I feel really damn smart for predicting this, though I have to admit the Rams are outperforming my prediction, and mostly thanks to the 49ers MASH unit that's still playing damn hard every week, and I got to give them props. But I predicted you had the potential for 3 West teams in the playoffs.
You can have 4. You know that, right?
You could technically now, but I don't think the Niners are going to do that.
No,
they're just too busted. If they weren't, if the Niners stayed healthy and the Rams were doing what the Rams were doing, I would be screaming that. You know this. Mm-hmm. I've declared the NFC West the best division in the NFL back in August. And Danny Thompson tried to give me flack telling me it was the NFC South. Well, we know who's laughing now. But the punchline is this, my good friend. That is a badass division.
Okay. That being said, so 7 teams per conference. Here, right now, let's go to the AFC first. So right now, the division winners of the AFC are the following: the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Colts. The current 3 wild cards right now, if it starts today, in the AFC are the Las Vegas Raiders, the Miami Dolphins, and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, there are 2 other teams on the outside looking in right now that have the same identical record as those teams, Titans and the Browns. The Pats are a couple games behind as well, too. Let's get to the division winners first. It's safe to assume we're going to agree that the Steelers and Chiefs are locks right away.
I'm not prepared to call the Steelers locks because they still have a second game against Baltimore coming, and the Steelers are the Steelers. Granted, while they look better, there have been moments where they've been undisciplined. The Titans should have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Titans are, well, listen, they're going to be good to win that division, and that's about it.
Yeah. So are you saying Steelers are not a lock playoff team or not a lock division?
Oh, they're a lock playoff team, but they're not locked to win the division. You will see the Steelers in the playoffs. Hell, Ernest got to win 1 more damn game to do it.
Yeah.
And, they did play the Browns twice already, I think, but they do have to play the Bengals again. Fairly certain they'll win that.
3-game lead right now, bud.
So.
It's a big lead. Chiefs, yes, obviously.
Yeah. And that's not a slight on the Las Vegas Raiders. Hell, they beat them. I was very impressed that they did it, and they did it with a defensive play deciding the game, oddly enough. But yeah, no, I definitely have Mahomes and company winning the day. Andy Reid's not going to let anything happen to drop that. Hell, don't be surprised if Matt Moore gets some time off the bench towards the end of the season.
Okay. Buffalo Bills?
Listen, I can see why one would think they're going to slip. This Dolphins team is defensively looking good. Somehow there's protection improvement in ways that I could not have fathomed. I knew they improved. I didn't think they were going to be this much better on the offensive line. I'm not saying they're the best in the league, but you got to give them props for achieving what they did. You know what the Dolphins are actually doing this year, Ernest Christian? They're winning the damn games they're supposed to.
And that's why that game was huge last week against the Chargers, because it was very scrappy. The record won't indicate it, but they're a scrappy team. So I was going to judge Dolphins pretty harshly had they lost that game and praise them if they won the game, and they won it. So, yeah I'm with you on that.
It was a buster break on it there for sure.
So that being said, the Bills, are they lock playoff, not lock division, or nothing right now?
The Bills are going to make the playoffs. I'm not handing them the division at this point because you know what? I think the Dolphins can win the rematch.
Okay. I'm with you. I have all three teams making the playoffs. Obviously, we just mentioned Steelers, Chiefs, Bills. Right. I just don't know. Obviously, the other two teams we mentioned, Steelers, Chiefs, are division winners in my opinion. The Colts. I say no lock as yet. I'm not convinced.
Hell no.
As cute as stories it is, I'm not convinced just yet.
At the end of the day, they're in there on the strength of a technicality because they've only played one of the two teams, or they've only played the Titans one of the two times they're supposed to play them. And if I remember correctly, they're supposed to play them this or next week. I think it's this week, maybe. Mm-hmm. So the outcome of that game will definitely change the story. If they sweep, I'll change my tune. Right now, I still have the Titans, even though that they've shown yet again, every time I pick these mammoth jammers to try to win it or do anything relevant, they fall flat on their stupid faces.
I'm saying no to the Colts, period of discussion. Raiders.
Don't diss their defense, homie.
I'm dissing them, but I'm not there yet. No lock on the Raiders from me. Raiders
at all.
Lock?
You don't think they're gonna make the playoffs?
Raiders?
I think the Raiders are
lock them up. Not ready to lock them up yet.
I am. Playoffs. Raiders. Go.
Okay. Dolphins?
Not yet. They have another game against the Patriots. I want to see that first. By then they'll have coaching and stuff figured out on both sides. I want to see how Flores responds and see if he can out Belichick. Another Bills game still to happen. There's a lot that's not yet. But
I'm treading there like you are, but not ready to commit.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Ravens I'm going to commit to.
100%.
Okay, 100%. Regardless of where they're at. Tennessee, I actually think Tennessee wins division still. So, I'm going to lock them up.
I'm not going to lock them up, but I picked them in August to win the division. They've continued to disappoint me. Granted, I have some Titans fans that ring the bell in the chat with my fellow writers at the3pointconversion.com, and they keep saying, believe in the Titans. I'm like, fool, I tried to. You got a division win prediction. You're not getting more than that from me. And by the way, that was before they blew the game against the Steelers. And now they've lost another one since. I believe they're on a 3-game losing streak, but I'm supposed to believe in them. No.
Yeah. Browns, no.
No.
Patriots, right. Patriots, I'm not going to lock them at all. But they're the team. I'm not going to mention them because I think they're the only team, the one team that can make things very interesting in the next couple weeks. The schedule is pretty easy. Not easy, but it's pretty doable at this point. So
I'll agree with that.
Okay, NFC, real quick. NFC's a little more. We'll see. Okay, so here's division winners real quick. We got about 5 minutes. We got to go. Packers, Saints, Cardinals, and currently the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, so the Packers are going to lock up the North. Let's just get that out of the damn
Packers win the North with you there. So division winners, yes. Saints, they'll definitely unlock playoff team. Not ready to commit to the division winner only because of the fact that Drew Brees may not help. We'll see him missing. We'll see. What about you?
I mean, I think the way that this board looks today is how it'll look at the end of the season, but with one thing that we can't account for: where the NFC West teams land, right? So,
Yeah.
now while Kyler Murray and company has done their job to give themselves current tiebreaker positioning, they still have second games against everybody, not the 49ers. So, they're in the driver's seat. If they go DJ Khaled, they're going to win the division, no question.
Right.
I still have the Eagles. I know you're going to pick the Giants and pretend to not be a Giants fan.
How'd you know that?
Because
I'll tell you what, though, the Giants have been playing good football last couple weeks.
Yeah, and I know they beat the Eagles last week too, but they're being playing good defense. Daniel Jones is a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to get, but as the Eagles get healthy, it's going to be interesting.
Okay, what about the Cardinals? I'm not going to lock them up just yet. Although the amount of teams in the race is thinning out. I'm going to say right now, no lock to the Cardinals just yet. No lock to the Eagles just yet, obviously.
Cardinals make the playoffs. I picked them to win 11 games in August. I am staying true. They will make the playoffs. The problem is I have Russell Wilson winning the division. I don't know that that'll happen because, much like the 49ers, the Seahawks are missing a lot of guys. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks to still make the playoffs. The Rams, I'm not prepared to lock them, but they're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we'll get to the wild card teams real quick. The Bucks playoff team, yes.
Yes.
Rams playoff team, yes.
Yes.
And the Seattle Seahawks playoff team.
Yes.
Yes. So those are locks. The only team at the bottom, because I have no faith in the Bears. I have no faith in the Lions.
Oh, the Bears have been exposed like Janet Jackson in a halftime show.
Yeah. The Falcons are the Falcons. The Niners are banged up. The only team I really believe can make things really interesting in the next couple weeks is the Vikings.
Kirk Cousins is on that team. I don't like it.
Yeah, but Dalvin Cook's on that team too.
Yeah, and he can't do everything by himself, man. Like, granted, they managed to beat the Bears on Monday.
The schedule's getting pretty easy next couple weeks, though. We'll say that. So,
hey, if there's a team on that list that's most likely to blow a game to an easy team, who would it be? The damn Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings. All right, last thing to let you go. Just spend about quick 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What's about college football here? And I haven't watched much college football this year, to be honest with you, because it's been a wonky year. Big Ten just started 3 weeks ago. Pac-12 just started last week. COVID, games being rescheduled. So it's hard to really commit to it. And my Seminoles suck on top of that. That being said.
God, they're awful.
Oh, they're awful. Yeah.
The entire conference not named Clemson is awful. And then they hired a mercenary.
Miami's good. Miami's good. I hate them, but Miami's good.
And you know what? You know why I don't count them? They're good on the strength of an American Athletic Conference quarterback. Holla at you, boy.
Oh, okay. Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Now, is Michigan 0-3 now?
They are.
Okay. A lot of talk about, it's going to be it for him. I'm going to still say no, only because of COVID.
I respect your answer, and you know I've been defending Jim Harbaugh hard. People calling for his head when he's still averaging 9.5 wins as a coach for his alma mater. But at the end of the day, partner, the fact that the alumni are already clamoring, the fact that they're already blue bloods, like the cheer is go blue. How more blue blooded can you get? Yeah. I think there's going to be too much clamoring already on the basis of losing to Michigan State as they have, and they were dominating. And then they lost to Wisconsin this past weekend. The only thing that Jim Harbaugh could do in a season where he's going to come out with a losing football team is to beat Ohio State.
That ain't happening.
It's not, but if he does, that's the only thing that might save his job. But I think he's a fat kid in dodgeball. I think he's Clay Aiken, which is to say that he is out. And I don't think it's the right move necessarily, but I don't think the Michigan fans will be patient enough.
Well, I would have thought COVID would have given him a little bit of pass.
No. If he
had
beat Ohio State once, then yes. But no.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Kyle, it was great.
Amen. Honor, joy, privilege, as always. Check me out, the3pointconversion.com. I have a preview going up tomorrow, I believe, for the UCF Knights as they face Cincinnati. That's a good time all the way around. Twitter, the SOTG, Instagram, the SOTG, Facebook is Student Game. Hilarity by default. Mm-hmm. Soon we'll be doing a required viewing on Rocky. Hell yes. Yes. Good times all the way around there. Ernest Christian, I know you got other places to be because you're a celebrity, so I'll say it to you this way, my friend. Until next time, brother.
Love you, buddy.
Dismissed.